Alright, what we got here, we got a classic car, and you can see that I've done the body work, I've primed it, and then I spot primed it where I need to have it spot primed with polyester primer. And we also went ahead and used another special primer on the roof called Super Build Primer. It's a high build polyester primer because the roof was a little bit unlivable. It had a lot of dents in it and we had to repair it. So I went ahead and used that primer on there, and then I went ahead and used the high build polyester primer on the rest of the car that wasn't as bad as the roof. So to actually block sand a car like this and do it properly for paint, now once I say paint, I'm talking final block sanding or possibly your block sanding it to get it into paint ready stage has to be done by hand. Using air tools, air files, DA sanders, it's not going to cut it. And normally this is the block sander of choice for a job like we have at hand over here. This is a professional hand sanding block. You can see that right here. All right, and this is what you would use to block sand the vehicle to get it to the precise accuracy that you need to get it paint ready so we can go ahead and paint the car and get it out of the shop. Now another block that you might want to use is something of this sort right here. This is called a speed file. The reason this is a speed file is because it's very flexible. You can see that right there. It molds to the body of the vehicle. And it's also a dual hand action. Now you can also use this as a one hand action like this right here, but this is a very accurate and very precise sanding block that you would use on a vehicle like in question. So when we're talking about DIY, how to at home hobby shop type, I want to paint my car, I want to do it myself type situation, we don't want to go buy these. These are going to cost us a fortune. This sander right here is about 75 bucks. Okay, this one's about $60, $50. We're not going to do that because we're painting our car at home. Does that make any sense?
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
So I was over at Harbor Freight the other day and I saw this on the bottom shelf of one of the aisles, and what this is a hand block sander. This is a sander. This is a 17-inch. You can read the box right here. It does have spring clips if you want to use non-sticking paper, which I don't use that. Rubber seating for sandpaper adapts to irregular surfaces such as paint and putty. All right, now I want to show you something here. My surfaces are not, all right, they are not that way. These are nice hard surfaces. So we're going to check it out. Now, the main thing on this sander is that this cost $8. I believe this was $8 with taxes. It's distributed by Harbor Freight Tools. And once again, I'm going to go ahead and say it, yes, it is made in China. But if you're going to paint a car at home and you want to do a beautiful job and you don't want to spend $100 for a block sander or maybe 75 bucks, okay, this might be the option that you want. Let's go ahead and open this up. We're going to compare this with our professional high-tech sanders and see what the difference is. So as we open the box, we're going to go ahead and check this out. And they have the box taped up so you can't take it out at the store to look at it. I'm going to take it out of the box. And as I look at it, it actually looks like a very nice, compatible sander. The grip of it, it's for a smaller hand. I have a big hand, but I can use it. It's comfortable in my hand, and I actually like the sander. I was expecting to see a sand block that had thick foam on it. I was expecting to see that, but as I see, it's very firm and hard foam. It's not that soft, pliable, rubber type foam. Let's go ahead and compare it with this. As you can see, it's basically the same size. It's a 17-inch and 17-inch sander. I mean, it's a wooden handle. We can use it as a one-hand sander if need be, just like this sander right here, or possibly this one. This is a lot lighter in weight. This is more heavier in weight. And one thing about this sander I do want to show you, this has perforated holes. Now, what are the perforated holes good for? Perforated holes, believe it or not, create a suction when you're sanding. Even under the sandpaper, they are creating a suction to help grip and form to the surface that you're sanding. So this sander does not have that type of finish on it. It does not have the perforated holes, but it is a nice surface finish. Now, when I run my hand across that, I feel there's like a small lump right in this area here, and I'm presuming it's these rivets right here that I'm feeling, these rivets. So I'm hoping that that doesn't cause an issue as we're sanding. When I push down on it, I can't feel them, but when I run my hand across it, I can kind of feel those little rivet areas, these rivets right here. Now, another thing is we're not going to use the sandpaper that uses these clips, and that's for dry paper. If you have dry paper, you can fold it in 3, and then you stick it on here, and then of course you open that up and you stick it in there, and then you clamp it down. We are not going to use those. What we use is a stick-on sandpaper, which is right here, and then what we'll do is we'll take our sander just like that, and we will peel off the back of our paper, and then it'll stick right here, just like so. All right, I want to go ahead and try it on a few surfaces, and right in this area right here, I got some runs in my primer. I want to go ahead and take my Harbor Freight sanding block, and I want to see how good it works if I sand this area right here, removing the runs that I have, and also feathering our primer into existence to make this paint ready. Okay. All right, so by using our Harbor Freight sanding block to sand this very obscure area here, and when I say obscure, I'm talking about odd shaped, you might say, and kind of wacky situation. We're not doing it this way, we're doing it like this right here. It seemed to work okay. The hand grip itself is small. It's hard to grip and hold. It's not that hard, but I'm just saying it's harder than I'm used to. Trying to use it as a one-hand sander like I would normally do, it's a little awkward, and it would take time to get used to actually do this type of sanding like this. I feel that it's sliding off my arm right here and not staying in place. Using this sander, I feel a lot more comfortable with it, and it's not moving around like the Harbor Freight sander was. It's very lightweight. It doesn't have any weight to it. I'm used to using a sander like this, of course, but as far as overall sanding and use, I think it did a nice job. I think it did an accurate job. And it worked very well on this area. So what's my thoughts on the 17-inch auto body hand sander from Harbor Freight for $8? I think it's a winner, people. I think for the home body guy like you are, the DIY guy that wants to do it at home by himself or how-to type situation, I think this sander is well worth the money. I don't think you need to go out and spend $100 on sanders to do the job that you need to have done. There was a few flaws that I don't like. The handle is a little bit small. The finger grip is little. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but I think after using it and getting used to it, I think that it would be a great sander. I do like the surface that is applied to this, the hard rubber surface. It's not a thick foam surface. That means that you're going to get a nice, accurate, smooth finish out of it. I didn't see any problems with the rivets as I was sanding, and as I'm feeling it on the sandpaper, I don't feel anything there at all, any imperfections. And I think that for $8, once again, our Harbor Freight hand sander is a big winner. If you're planning on block sanding anything to sand, this can be used for a lot of stuff, okay guys? You don't have to use it just for automotive use. It can still be used for let's say sheetrocking. If you have to sand down the mud after you tape in bed, this would be a good sander to have. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete, showing you and telling you Harbor Freight is the place to go, not just to save money, but to get good tools that you can use at home. It is not a high quality professional sander by no means at all. I'm going to tell you that right now. But it's a sander that'll do the job for you and do it right. Take it easy, my friend Pete, your friend Pete, right here, showing you and telling you Harbor Freight is not just a store of cheap, inexpensive items, price-wise. It's a store of cheap, inexpensive items that are good and will last a long time. Take it easy. We'll see you later.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.